Hey friend, welcome back to the Halfway to Dead mini edition. It's time to hit you with some wellness wisdom today. Guys, we have to take care of our aging mind and body so we can finish this life strong. Are you ready? Okay, jump in. Ride shotgun with me as we continue on this midlife spiritual journey together. Okay, hey everybody, welcome back to our little Monday microdose episode. Today we have with us Sally Garazzo, and we're going to talk about sleep. So important for our health, you guys. And insomnia and all of this. At some point in your life, you're always dealing with this, I think. I'm dealing with it all the time. Okay, so Sally, let's start out with understanding what our body does with sleep. Like you had mentioned the circadian rhythm we go through.
Yes. So since the invention of the light bulb, actually, our circadian rhythms have started going a bit funny. So back in nature, when we were cave people, we would just go to sleep when it got dark and we would wake up when it got light. And actually, we might wake up in the middle of the night just to watch the cave, just to make sure there was no lions or tigers at the cave door. So waking up in the middle of the night is actually okay. So I'll get to this in a minute, but we often panic when we wake up in the middle of the night. But I read recently that sleeping 8 hours a night is a recent invention.
Oh.
Because obviously we don't need to wake up in the middle of the night to check the cave, but we do. But because we haven't needed to, we've sort of trained in that 8 hours a night. So whether you sleep 8 hours through the night or you wake up in the middle of the night, it kind of doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's okay. But we'll get to that in a minute. So circadian rhythms are, we have these ganglion cells in our eyes that send a message to our brain about the light levels. And that then will release when it starts to get dark, that will release all of the kind of wind down hormones, the melatonin, the hypnagogic factor, anything that sort of starts that engine for sleep. So that is why it's so important to get off blue light as it starts going dark or around about 8 o'clock. And that's why it's also important when you get up in the morning to get outside as quickly as possible.
Okay, into real sunlight.
The quicker you can get outside, to build that circadian rhythm. So the circadian rhythm is like, it happens automatically. So we want all the hormones, we want the nervous system to respond and adapt naturally, really, without us kind of doing anything. And the way that we do that is by implementing these patterns so that happens naturally.
Okay.
So I do think that getting outdoors first thing in the morning is probably more important than even a bedtime routine.
Okay, because that's setting up for your sleep that night.
Yeah, exactly. It's like forward pacing. I recently listened to some science around, I can't quite remember what it was, but I do remember that the wake up is more important. If you had to choose between one or the other, choose how you wake up.
Oh, work on your wake up routine.
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah. And then blue light. Name a few things that are blue light, just for anybody out there who's wondering, where am I getting my blue light from? It's our computer screens.
So screens.
Screens. It's TVs
phones,
too. TVs, phones, computers, kind of everything artificial light right now. Okay.
Yeah, everything. But you can get blue light blocking glasses.
I was going to say they have glasses. Even if you don't need any prescription, they have some that are just glass that blocks the blue light. Okay, I'll put a link to some of those in the show notes for you guys. Okay. All right, so no blue light. We're going to wake up with this, and go out and get in some sun. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So then what kind of things can we do at bedtime to ensure we're going to get some good sleep?
So at bedtime, I think it's training this circadian rhythm. This is my personal belief because I've really struggled with insomnia. Now, this doesn't work for everyone, but for me, it really, really worked. And that was going to bed at exactly the same time every night and waking up at exactly the same time in the morning. It just happens automatically now. I don't need an alarm. I just drop off and wake up at exactly the same time. So I will have a very specific wind down routine where I'll have a shower, obviously put all my creams on, get my PJs on, write a list. So do a brain dump, get it all out of my head.
What are we doing on the list? Just talk about our day, kind of like journaling, or are we looking at the next day or reviewing the day we had?
So we're looking at the next day. So for me, everything that I need to get done for the next day, or things that I want to remember for the next day, or things that I'm kind of holding on to subconsciously.
That makes sense. So we're not worrying about it all night.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
Yeah. So I try and get out as much as possible on paper, so that it's like I'm telling my mind, you don't need to worry about that in the middle of the night, because that's all been dealt with.
Yes.
Like all the stuff. Yeah. And I might do, it really depends on like the quality of my brain that day, but I might just sit for 20 minutes and stare out. So just maybe put some relaxing music on, or I might just sit in silence and let my thoughts chug. So this is one of the reasons why so many people struggle with insomnia at the moment. And that's because we're not giving ourselves enough daydreaming time during the day. So we don't wait in queues anymore without doing anything. We wait in a queue and we scroll.
With our phone.
Yeah. Even like waiting for the lift to come up, you know, we can't wait.
Yeah, we're staring at our screen.
Yeah. We can't wait 30 seconds. And so we're losing that vital daydreaming time, which is when stuff that we're ingesting, so information that we're ingesting consciously, travels down the analytical pathway and gets stored in the long-term memory. If we're not daydreaming, we're not doing that process. It's called the default mode network. It's like having a car in neutral. It's just idling. It's ticking over. But there's a really, really important process that's happening when we are idling, when we're daydreaming. So that is quite important. And actually last night, my husband and I were exhausted and we just sat there in silence listening to like classical music for probably about an hour, just sort of crashed out on the sofa. Instead of putting the TV on and like going into escape mode, because that's just giving you more information to process. Even when you're watching something on TV or like trying to numb out, actually, you're still ingesting stuff. So if you really want to process everything that you've been ingesting during the day, conversations, things that you've seen on social media, emails that you've read, stuff that you've got to do, just stuff that you're holding on to, give yourself at least 20 minutes a day for sort of mindless activity. Like if you're driving, that can be really useful, or if you're going for a walk, that can be really useful. But drive without a podcast or drive without music.
Just quiet, so your brain can go wherever it feels like going for a little while.
Exactly.
Okay, so during the day, we're setting ourselves up for better sleep. It's just not about that hour before sleep. It's like letting your brain do that during the day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do incorporate it in I call it my power down hour.
Okay.
Which is quite a nice thing to remember. Just like you plug your phone in to charge up, you have to sort of...
Okay, you need that hour.
Yeah, you need that hour to sort of, you know, power it all down, to program yourself. Because if you just get into bed without having that chance to power down, you're going to be doing a lot of the powering down in bed, and that might make you quite restless, unless you're the type of person that can just fall asleep just like that. I don't know many women that can do that.
I don't either. Yeah, no, just hit the pillow and gone. No. Okay, so
you need that preparation, I think.
And that hour doesn't have to be right before you go to sleep. It could be a little bit earlier than that, right? I mean, as long as you've given your brain that time.
You have to make it work for you and your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do. So I go to bed. I go on the sofa with my PJs on. You know, I'm ready to go to bed. I can't sit on the sofa feeling like bleh. Feeling like I've still got the day on me.
Right. Yeah. I like night showers too. Like a nice shower or bath, get some comfy clothes on. Yeah. Yep. But then see, I have to get in the routine of I don't need the phone or TV, right? Like just let me sit for a minute. Just chill out for a while. And that's not that we can't watch our favorite shows, but maybe make sure you have enough time to wind down with it still though. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I do watch telly. So I plug my phone after my shower. I plug my phone in my office. Then I walk away. No one can get hold of me from like, I don't know, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And then I'll sit on the sofa and I watch. So between like 8 and 9, I'll watch something interesting, like a documentary or a series that I'm watching,
Yeah.
but then from 9 o'clock till my bedtime, I will always watch the same program.
I do
This
that
sounds
too.
ridiculous.
What do you watch?
I watch Big Bang Theory.
Okay. So I do this kind of the same thing. I always like to end on a show I love and that makes me laugh and feel good. So Big Bang is one of those for me too, but I've been big on Modern Family. I don't know if you've ever watched that.
No, I haven't.
Modern Family, or for me, Schitt's Creek. I don't know if you've ever. Okay. So, but basically, yeah, it's something, you're not watching like a serial killer crime drama. Like it's something kind of light. Yeah. That makes you happy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And I think there's some real science behind that, because it's like there's a feeling, it invokes a feeling of safety, like familiarity. I know what's coming. I've seen these episodes before. It's not stimulating my nervous system. There's no suspense. It's just light. It's funny. And you just feel that warm. It gives you a dose of oxytocin, actually.
Yeah.
It's like, comfort. And then, as soon as I feel my eyes start going, I will go to bed. Sometimes I do fall asleep on the sofa because it just feels so nice.
Well, yeah, you got your fuzzy blanket and you're like, nope, I can go to sleep now.
Yeah, exactly. But if you do fall asleep on the sofa, just a caveat, get up really slowly, really gently, and just like gently waft to bed. And that's why I pull back. So I create my bedroom like a spa. In fact, I'm just having my bedroom renovated at the moment. So it's all lovely. It's so nice in there. But I have red light bulbs in my bedroom.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not anything sexual, but it wouldn't matter if it was.
Well, no, it's just calming. Yeah, whatever. You pick whatever bulbs work for whatever. But yeah, it's just more relaxing, like you said. Because sometimes these harsh LED bulbs that are out now like they're not soothing for sure.
No,
no,
not at all. Not at all.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, the red light bulbs. And then I just literally get into bed and I'm asleep straight away. Even if I have fallen asleep on the sofa, I'm quite used to that sort of rhythm now. But you've got to do what works for you. Take it or leave it. Find what works for you.
Yeah. So do you recommend, should we leave the blinds open so that natural sunlight can come in? Because I know a lot of people get blackout shades and blinds, so it's so dark even in the morning. Is that messing with our rhythm too, do you think?
It really depends on the person. So for me, I will wake up anyway. I love waking up in the dark.
Okay. All right.
I love darkness. So for me, blackout blinds all the way. We have an east-facing apartment. So in the summer, like it will be light at sort of 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's early.
3, 4.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we have to have blackout. So it depends on the aspect of your bedroom window. It depends on, if you're a heavy sleeper or a light sleeper, what you prefer. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't matter because you're getting up in your dark room, but you're heading to the sunlight. Like you said, you're going outside or by a window or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So it gets light. Also depends what part of the world you live in. So
Yes.
I'm in the Northern Hemisphere at the moment. It's not getting light until 7:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So I might wake up at 6:30, but I've still got an hour of darkness.
Right.
Yeah. So that's when blue light can be quite handy. Yeah, in the morning. So if you're getting on your phone in the morning.
So blue light in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a good thing.
Can be.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to pick the phone up the second we wake up because in our mind, I think it's going too fast.
Yeah.
With the day. But okay. So then as soon as there is light, because it gets pretty cold where I'm at. So I'm not always going to, bebop outside first thing in the morning if it's freezing cold out. But just getting, like you said, by windows where there's like natural light coming in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, or just stepping outside. Like if you've got a garden, I don't have a garden. I don't have my dog anymore. But when I had my dog, I would get up and walk my dog first thing in the morning. Yeah, just to sort of walk around the block and get everything started. But you might want to meditate with a candle flame. I'm not sure if candle light is blue light or red light. I think it's more red light, but it's very soothing on the brain waves. And, you might want to watch the sunrise. It really depends, but getting some sort of daylight in the morning, I think, is quite important.
Okay. Yeah. And sometimes should we get it as quickly as because sometimes if we drive to work, we're going to get sunlight in our car, or like whatever. But you're saying to set the rhythm, we should get in a habit of about the same time getting the sunlight. That makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So what do we do if we do wake up in the night? Like you said, we've kind of come up with this 8-hour thing. First of all, do we really need 8 or is it different for everyone? Because I know people who can get 5 and have a great day.
Yeah.
Is it more about just that routine? Like if you're only going to get 7, still make it the same times? What do you think?
I think it's more about sleep cycles. So some people can get away with 4 sleep cycles. Some people need 5 sleep cycles. Some people need 6, but it can vary. So a sleep cycle is 90 minutes. So if you need 5 sleep cycles, that's 7 hours. If you need 4 sleep cycles, that's around 6 hours.
Okay.
So I think of it in terms of sleep cycles, and a sleep cycle is, I need to remember this now, but it's in the early part of the evening. This is why sleep before midnight is quite nice.
Okay.
Because you get that deep wave sleep, that very, very deep wave delta brainwave sleep, very slow brainwaves there. And that is very, very deep rest. And that's the most nourishing rest that we can have. Then we'll go up into light sleep.
Okay.
Which isn't actually light sleep. It's just lighter than delta. And then we might go up into REM sleep, which is where we get that lots of brainwave activity during that time.
And dreaming and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And dreaming. Yeah, exactly. We don't really dream in delta wave sleep.
Okay.
It's really hard to wake someone up as well when they're in delta. So, and we get more REM sleep in the morning. So we do, if we're not getting REM sleep, we're not processing as much, and maybe we might struggle with memory. But I think that it's really, really, really important as a recovering / recovered insomniac to not worry about waking up in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Because the more you worry about waking up in the middle of the night, the less likely you are to go back to sleep. So when I'm working with my clients under hypnosis, I will program them to, if you wake up in the middle of the night, it's like this kind of deep bellied yumminess that you feel. So you just sort of like wriggle around and you love the feeling of the sheets. You wriggle your toes. You just sort of like have this. I've also heard it described as bed swimming.
Oh, bed swimming. Okay.
Where you just sort of like do this kind of yummy tantric.
Yeah. And so instead of focusing on, oh no, I'm awake. How am I going to get back to sleep? I'm going to have a bad day tomorrow because of this. No, just start feeling around your senses of like how much you're loving this bed. Like I'll grab my fuzzy blanket, or, you know, like when you find that cold spot on your pillow and you're like, oh, yeah. So
exactly,
try and stay in thinking about your actual bed, sleep, whatever.
So so put your awareness in your body. So what we're doing is we're going from head to body.
Okay.
Body is like the somatic side of things. So we need to get more somatic. We need to get more body based. So sometimes focusing on your breath, sometimes focusing on wiggling your fingers or toes. That bed swimming is lovely. Just focus on how comfortable you are, focusing on the quietness and the peace. So rather than it being like, because a lot of people think that quiet is like they can hear their thoughts too loud when it's quiet.
Okay. Yeah.
But instead of focusing on the thoughts, which is internal, focus on the silence, like just the presence, the quietude, that sense of stillness, that sense of
Yeah.
So we can frame, we can frame it however we want to. And sometimes, yes, the head is too noisy. And we do need to get up and we do need to go and grab a glass of water. But I think of getting up as a reset.
Okay.
So if you just like, all right, nothing is working. Okay, I'm going to get up, go and have a glass of water, go to the loo, have a stretch, get back into bed. And that's like a reset.
Okay. But don't pick your phone up and all of that. No.
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
Don't pick. No.
No. You're getting a drink. You're going to the bathroom, things like that. You're not picking up your phone. You're not doing any heavy thinking. No.
No. I mean, if it really depends, like what's waking you up. Like if If it's cortisol and adrenaline, which it may well be, it's likely to be that, to be honest.
Okay.
Maybe you might need to do a couple of push-ups.
Oh, all
especially
right.
if you've got like an accelerated heart rate. Like I've done that before in the middle of the night. I've got up and walked around the block.
If you're feeling anxious.
Yeah, if you really have that visceral anxiety, push-ups, like get it out, discharge that energy.
Okay. A little mini workout in the middle of the night. There you go.
Yeah, not too stimulating.
No,
but
just a little bit of movement. Yeah. Okay, so push-ups or if you can't do push-ups, I don't know, there's some kind of activity. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if you've got like a worktop, you can do push-ups on your worktop.
Yeah,
rather than getting down on the floor.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay, so if we have to get up, still try just no phones, no electronics, just get a drink, go to the bathroom, reset like you're heading to bed again, and kind of do the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Self-soothing language is also really important, I think, and can affect the nervous system. So when the nervous system's really activated by the thoughts and the adrenaline, that's hard to get back to sleep again. But self-soothing language will deactivate the nervous system and down-regulate the nervous system, because we want the heart rate to be about 60 BPM.
Okay.
And we want to be in that parasympathetic state to sleep.
Okay.
And so the words and the pictures that we have can be super helpful. So I do have a little sleep course online as well.
Yeah.
And in that, I have a recording. I've created this recording. It's called the Acceptance Paradox. It's only like 3 minutes.
Okay.
And you can do this for yourself on your phone. You just record you saying, okay. And then you say your name. Okay, Sally, I see that you're awake. I notice that you're awake right now. That's okay. I understand that you're struggling a little bit right now. I understand that you're worried. I understand. So it's just this validation. So
as you're falling back to sleep.
Yeah. And if you say it in a really soothing kind of tone, it just helps you to just sort of accept what you're going through.
Okay.
Because when you're fighting it, that's when you end up like generating this sort of heat energy. You generate conflict. You generate too much energy in the system.
Yeah.
And that translates as, activity. But when we validate, it's like we throw water on the fire. It's like going, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay that you're awake. It's okay that your mind is a bit active right now.
Yeah.
It's okay. I understand. I know. Those sorts of words can be super helpful.
Yeah. And then maybe, would you say, like, even if you can't get what you're thinking about out of your brain, sometimes I'll do a little bit of breath work where I'm counting the breath in my brain. It's almost like, the old school, like counting sheep or whatever to fall asleep. It just gets your mind doing something kind of easy, like counting, right?
Yeah.
And then you can't
definitely
think about the other stuff quite as hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly that. It's like sort of a mild distraction technique.
Yeah.
To get you out of thinking, whatever it is that you're worrying about or ruminating about.
Okay. Yeah. And even if we have to get up to go, because at this age, we're getting up to go to the bathroom sometimes in the middle of the night. That wakes us up.
Yeah.
But just stay real calm with it. Like I try and leave just the light off in the bathroom if I can, if there's just a little bit of light. You know what I mean? Because you're, like you said before, you're just trying to stay in a really relaxed, not getting a day started mode. Yeah.
No, not at all. So your body communicates with your mind and your mind communicates with your body. So your body, if you're getting up in the middle of the night, like, gritted teeth, powering
all
to the
mad
bathroom,
about it. Yeah.
Get pissed off and uptight, that's sending a signal to your brain that there's danger.
Yeah, then you're not getting back to
something.
sleep.
Yeah,
you're checking the cave. You got to check the cave then. Yeah, you don't want to get in that habit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly that. So I like to picture a sloth.
A sloth?
The way a sloth moves up a tree,
slowly.
like that, really slow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I kind of move my body in the middle of the night now. And that's actually how I move my body through the day now.
Like a little sloth. Okay.
Yeah, I try not to rush.
Yeah.
Take it slow, relax.
Oh, that's easier said than done.
Because then you tell your mind that everything's okay. Like your mind, it stops firing off.
We don't want to be in fight or flight all the time. So we got to stay calm, especially when we're heading into bedtime.
Yeah.
Okay. No, definitely. I love that. And you guys know that, like for me, part of my bedtime routine is also just like a little short meditation. So if you're someone who practices a meditation or prayer, that kind of helps you wind down into that too. Yeah, before you head to sleep.
Prayer is really good. Yeah, if you believe in something or you want to pray to nature or the universe or God or Jesus or whatever, prayer.
Just whatever. Yeah, just do that. Yeah, prayer or a little meditation. Yeah, just be like, I'm going to sleep. I'm done for the day. Like, watch over me, whatever. Yeah.
Definitely. And just finally, if I can just mention something that I do, because I obviously believe in the power of the mind and impressing and what they call suggestions.
Yeah.
And visualization is so important. So what I do as I'm going to bed, I will visualize myself waking up at the appropriate time and smiling and feeling happy about it. So I'll visualize me waking up and looking at the clock and seeing 6:30.
Okay.
Rather than waking up.
And feeling good about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it and like, oh my God, I've slept through the night. That's amazing.
Yeah, look at the bright side. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to bed with that program.
Okay. Yeah. So just a quick little visualization of how the next morning's going to happen. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's going to be amazing. Yeah. And perfect. Okay, you guys. So listen, we get some good tips to get our circadian rhythm in check.
Yeah.
And get some routines. And it's as important how you wake up as it is how you go to sleep, right? Like
it is.
Because that's setting you up for the next night's sleep.
Yeah, yes. Definitely.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you, Sally. All right. We got a lot more to work on. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, you guys.
You're so welcome. I hope it's been helpful.
And I'm going to put her link in the show notes because she does have a good sleep one and you'll have all of that. But yes, so let's get a good night's sleep tonight, you guys. What do you say? Let's all get a good night's sleep tonight. Let's start it tonight. Whenever you listen to this, it's time. This is your sign. It's time to get some good sleep. Okay, thanks again, Sally.
You're very welcome. Bye.
I hope you learned something today that you can implement into your life. And remember to use the links in the show notes to do your own personal deep dive into today's wellness wisdom topic. Also, please share this episode with a friend who might be looking for ways to improve their health and wellness too. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I can't wait to hit you with some more wellness wisdom next Monday. Oh, and I really can't forget the fine print again. You know, that legal jargon. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. We're just two friends on this journey together, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or any other qualified professional. I know you guys get it, so I'll see you next time.